Weekend shooting in Achille has left one man dead and another in jail accused of murder. News 12's Mia Medellin with the latest.
On Friday around 12:30 p.m., Achille police officers responded to a residence near South 7th and A Avenue regarding a shooting. When officers arrived to the home, they found 68-year-old James Roy Scoggins deceased. Achille police then called in the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation to take over the case. And OSBI determined Scoggins suffered a gunshot wound and died as a result of homicide.
Neighbors tell me they heard commotion of arguing and screaming, but didn't realize a shooting happened until police came.
OSBI identified the suspect as 44-year-old Justin Stone. The Colbert Police Department located Stone in Colbert, and he was arrested and booked into the Bryan County Jail on a first-degree murder charge with deliberate intent. Family members tell us Scoggins was a disabled veteran and a retired paramedic. Authorities haven't released any more information and say this is still an ongoing investigation. Stone faces death, life in prison without parole, or life in prison if convicted. It'll be up to the district attorney prosecuting the case whether or not the death penalty will be pursued. And actually, Mia Medellin, News 12.